Amazing. Awesome. Welcome, everybody, this happy Thanksgiving week. I want to welcome everybody for tuning in and joining myself, Laura Balzer, and Wendy Morgan for our Patching podcast. We have some amazing guests tonight. I cannot wait for you to hear from them. I'm very excited to be sharing the screen tonight with Wendy. But before we get started, I want to make sure that I touch on some important things, which is this. We are not here to cure, diagnose, or treat. And please remember, before you start anything, take the time to check with your physician. And that goes for all people, including our nursing mothers and pregnant mothers as well. So with that said, I'm super stoked to be here with Wendy tonight. She keeps on telling me she's got some amazing interviews and she never disappoints. So Wendy, where are you, love?
Hey, darling, I'm right here. Hi, everybody. Welcome tonight to our Patching podcast. I'm going to mute everybody one more time.
Please do.
Mute all. Oh, that's interesting. There we go. And so, Laura, if you'd still unmute yourself. And I'm going to call first to our forefront one of our beautiful people, Veronique. Veronique, if you could unmute yourself. Veronique Carpenter.
There we go.
Because I'm tired. I just don't want it on there.
Somebody keeps unmuting themselves. They're sneaking right in there. I don't know what's going on. Well, we'll find them. So anyways, Veronique, thank you so much for being on here with us this very fine evening. You know, when we talked earlier today, I didn't even get, where are you from?
I was born in France.
That's right. Yes, I got that part.
Okay.
But where do you live now?
Sarasota.
You guys are coming here. It's an invasion. a good invasion.
Yes.
So, Veronique, you were telling me today that you got on the patch around April 11th?
April 11th. Yes. I tried a few patches through Debbie and Jan. I was not feeling good from a vaccination shot or something like this. And I wasn't feeling good. And Deb stepped in and said, you need our patches. And I just said, yes. How do I get them? Where? And Jan helped out February, March, and Debbie did. So I went on to Silver.
Yes.
So I could have my husband Jack join with me. And April 11th, we started the patches, and the blisters, sores that I had, and the pain in my arm, my trauma.
So let's kind of start from the beginning. So basically, yes. You got a certain vaccination, you did not have a positive response to it. What were some things that your body was expressing? Why don't you share those first? Because I know through your story, it didn't sound like fun.
No. They thought I had shingles. I had to go to our physician, and I ended up with 5 different prescriptions, narcotic to sleep at night. I couldn't sleep. I was crying a lot, uncomfortable, very uncomfortable, that I sent my daughter a text saying, Mom's not feeling good. You tell your siblings that I really tried my best. And it went to Debbie. The text went straight to Deb, and Deb says, you need our help. And they did come to my rescue. And I'm always looking for something to help Jack. He has Parkinson's for quite a few years. He's on medicine, and he can't lie. I think I sent you a picture, and he was sitting with me just smiling. But 12 years ago, that one picture shows us at our 40th high school reunion. And we got back together 8 years ago. So this has been the most exciting adventure at 69. I see him doing yard work in half the amount of time. I'm feeling better. I've had a horrific car accident many years ago. So herniated discs and bulging back, feeling so much better. We're doing things together that we weren't doing several years ago. Now we're traveling.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I couldn't find the pictures. I really apologize, guys.
That's
If I do
okay.
find them when we upload this, I will share the pictures of Veronique's husband. So I kind of like want to wrap back around because you can tell you're just skating over it. You're like, no, let's just go on. So Veronique, when you shared your story with me about the adverse effects that your body received when you received this, whatever, you were literally sending out texts to everybody like, I tried my best. You felt like this was it sounded like.
Yeah. Yes.
I mean, so that really tells you how low and how sick you really felt. I mean, that's really sad, but huge to know that. Now, how soon after that, because I know that then, thank God, literally, that one of those texts accidentally went to Debbie, right? Debbie. Yeah. And then you got the patches. And how soon did all of these things, because you're mentioning to me that you had open sores underneath your breast, kind of like flesh eating. Yeah, flesh eating syndrome. And you said that your whole mood had changed. You're not a person who used cuss words. Now you sounded like a sailor, and very, very angry, very, very irritated and agitated. All these things, which is like, oh my dear Lord, I can totally understand if, it's like a whole new personality is being exposed that's inside of you and you can't control it. So how soon after being on the patches did that kind of just turn itself around?
Well, I was faithful to putting the patch on and being reminded to drink lots of water. I mean, just flush through. And I found that I had energy to walk up and down. We're on a dead end street. It was a week or two. I was just every day. The sleep was getting calmer. The medicine just faded out. No more medicine. I was told by a physician, you're not ready for anything, any other shots
from anything.
Yeah. Whatever. Yeah.
Right.
No, just, and then I could see Jack just feeling better and better, like you say, they can't lie. He started to smile. And Deb one day asked him, so Jack, what's going on with you? And he lifts his arm right here. I got my and he says, well, I had a rotor cuff and I didn't want to get the surgery, but I can lift my arm. And his strength is coming back so much better. We just, and I was able to drive up to New Jersey in June, which was not something I had done for over 2 years. And I do the driving. And then the convention, it was just the most wonderful, amazing. We drove up to Central Florida, Debbie and Jan, and they were so helpful in having me meet everybody. Just everybody. I'm getting my confidence back. I've gone through a lot of trauma in my life. So this has been amazing. And this too tonight is just wonderful to meet new people. I have been watching, but I was not comfortable getting on the screen. And
you're looking wonderful and you're doing awesome. And I know people are really appreciating your story here and
my
sharing your
hair.
testimony.
The other thing with that, my hair was falling out and it was short. I have other pictures where it was short. This has grown in less than a year. In January, it was short. And I do have my beautician license. So, I mean, to have this is exciting.
Oh, I'm so happy for you. I want to kind of go back and recap your husband, Jack. So it's really kind of hilarious because our next person who's decided to share is Michelle. And I talked to both of these people before we come on here today. And you both are like, well, you never know about the husbands. And then all of a sudden they start talking to somebody else like, well, I can lift my arm, look. And it's so funny how the husbands kind of keep all this stuff to themselves. It's like, guys, you need to speak up more.
Yes.
Yes. But a rotator cuff tear, that's pretty. And I think you said he needed surgery, but now
he retired. He retired from the town. He worked for the town, and he also was a fire chief in New Jersey.
So grateful for his service, I'm sure there. Thank you so much. And Veronique, thank you so very much. Now, Veronique's, guys, I have to share that she is 69 years young. Doesn't she look awesome? I mean, You do. You're just glowing, and I love it.
Thank you. Thank you
Awesome.
so
Well,
much.
thank you so much, Veronique, for jumping on today.
Thank you. Thank you
All
so
right.
much for reaching out.
Exactly. And we're going to come
Awesome.
back to you too. We're going to bug you a little bit more so you get less shy on the camera.
Thank you.
Okay.
Okay.
Now we're going to go ahead and bring on here Michelle. Michelle, if you could unmute yourself and say hello.
I'm here.
There we
Hello.
are. Oh, I
Okay.
see you. I see your picture. Yay.
Yeah,
So
I'm
everybody,
sorry. I'm
Go
sorry I
ahead.
can't go on camera.
It's okay.
It doesn't work for some reason on my laptop, so kind of stuck.
Yes. As long as we can hear your beautiful voice, that's all everybody cares about. So everybody, I'd like to welcome Michelle here. She it comes from us from Michigan, and she is currently retired right now. And so Michelle, how long exactly have you been using the patches? You and your husband?
Well,
that is.
we started end of March 2020.
Okay.
So we're about 18 months at this point.
Okay. And who introduced you to them? How did that interaction come about?
A friend in Toronto, and unfortunately, she's not really actively working the business at this point, but she was somebody I trusted enough to take a look. But I did a lot of research, and when I'm one of those skeptics by nature, and I had to go look at everything I could possibly find because, we all hear the latest, greatest thing. And it really was the technology that caught my attention. And also the fact that I had done some research on stem cells, a couple of years prior to that. So I just found it really interesting. And I looked for everything I could find. I even looked for complaints. I usually will go look for complaints, and I didn't find a single negative comment anywhere that I searched. So I joined.
Awesome.
Just
Now,
basically.
originally you this was interesting to you because for your husband, correct?
Well, I would say both of us, but I'm pretty healthy. I didn't have a lot of issues. He's not particularly health oriented. And I've been in, nutrition for a long time, interested in alternative health. So I just didn't have a lot of issues. I had a couple things, but I did. I mean, when I first started, I had some degenerative disc disease, some pain in my neck, and that was gone in 3 days. So that was really the first thing. I didn't have the kinds of stories that I hear from a lot of people. But I did notice then about 10 days in, my skin started to feel silky on my arms, not on my face, but just enough that made me think, wow, it was a surprise. And then I even thought it was placebo. I think a lot of people think that when they have early results, but that was pretty much it for my first month. And but then in my second month, the thing that really caught my attention was I noticed my short-term memory was better. And that was something I had been concerned about. I'm 65, and it kind of runs in my family. So in my focus. So overall, I just felt good. But I didn't have other things except for one thing, and that was my knees. And I ran restaurants for a lot of years. And so my knees got pretty beat up. Back in like 2015, I could barely walk stairs, and we lived in a 3-story house. So I had to put 2 feet on one step to go to the next step, kind of thing, in slow motion. And I really thought I was headed for knee replacements. And that's where my stem cell research started. And I did a lot of reading until I found out the cost. And then that was kind of the end of that. So the thing that I found another product, collagen product, that helped, but it was really expensive. I probably stopped taking it more than a year before we started patching. And I still would have, it helped a lot, but I still had pain when I was on my feet for a long period of time. And I didn't even realize over time, we moved just last summer. And so we'd been patching about 14 months at that point. And we moved from a 3-story house to a 2-story house, but with a basement. So still 2 sets of stairs, and moved a lot of boxes on our own. And I realized probably 2 weeks after that move, all of a sudden I realized I had zero pain in my knees. And to this day, I have zero pain in my knees. So I'm just really happy with that. But my husband his story is he was probably the worst candidate there could be, because he's 81 years old. He doesn't exercise. He eats pretty poorly, kind of the typical American diet. He hates healthy food in general. And I do make him take vitamins, but the struggle with water has been a huge, we fight about it. If it weren't for me, he'd probably drink 1 glass of water a day. He's had a bunch of surgeries. He's got high blood pressure. He had a full shoulder replacement, 2 knee replacements, back surgery, so a ton of scars. And I do give him a copper supplement. I knew he wouldn't eat the right food. So I did give you some pictures of a couple of the scars. I don't know.
Yeah, let me go into that right now.
Okay.
And let me share my screen so everybody can see. So we're gonna look at the back scar first. Okay, go ahead. You can talk about the back scar.
So he had back surgery several years ago. And the scar just kind of, once it healed, it kind of stayed the same. Now I can't see it big in this picture. I don't know. But in a couple months, I saw a difference. The one thing I did was to take pictures of several.
Wendy, can you double click that so it expands and takes up the whole screen? Double click it.
Yeah, it just
that is taking up the whole screen right there, love.
It shows small on my end.
You can scroll it by putting your fingers on it and expanding it so you can see.
One more time, because that was kind of muted and there's somebody talking in the background.
I was just saying, if you take your fingers and you expand it out, you can bring it closer.
Yeah, that's interesting. Let me go ahead and stop share here, because
very important part of the verdict that happened today.
let me go back to screen share then again. Okay, so you see my screen there, yes? Pretty
Yes.
small? Okay.
I see all 3 pictures.
Okay, so I'm gonna go ahead and click on the back. And make it bigger, come on. There we go. That's as big as it's gonna get on my screen, guys, so I don't know what the problem is.
Okay. Well,
I'll share these in Telegram.
Yeah. Well, anyhow, when you see them up close, you'll see that the back really was a deep scar, and it really deep, and each over time, it's gotten shallower and shallower. Definitely, it had stayed the same for a long time. This has been a few years, and so it's definitely healing. Not super fast, I don't think. But then the knee replacement, there's the first picture, the one where it says original left scar, that was his 2018, on the left side of the picture, that was his first knee replacement in 2018. And that was what it looked like when we started the patch, just before we started patching. And you'll be able to see that it's fully healed. It had been about 1.5 years at that point. And the scar on the right, on the picture, is his 2020. And we'd been patching about 6 months, and that was 4 months after that. So that was about 10 months, and you can see a dramatic difference in terms of the healing. And it healed so fast in comparison. It was unbelievable. And also you have to consider he was 2 years older too. So you would really expect that it would be slower healing, just because of age. And then the other picture was his knee replacement right after they took the bandages off. This was the one this past last 2020, last October, and just 5 weeks later. So just to show how fast that, and today you can see it, but it looks really, really good. I didn't take a current picture, but there's no comparison between the two. For sure, the patches really accelerated that healing.
Yeah. So working in the physical therapy field, 5 weeks after surgery, this is a beauty of how quickly that scar literally looks almost to be 2 months old, if not more. So that is beautiful healing repair right there.
Yeah. So then the other thing was, he's the person that kept saying he didn't think the patches were helping him. He didn't feel anything. And so it's been a long time. And so I think it's really important for people that are feeling frustrated if it's not fast. It was 2 months ago that we were at lunch with a bunch of people, and a friend of ours sitting across from us started telling us about his hands having arthritis. And Jerry immediately put his hand up and he made a fist. And he said, since I've been using these patches, I used to have pain in my hand so bad I couldn't make a fist. And now I have zero pain. The pain's gone and I can make a fist again. He said, I had eye floaters, they're gone. I had shoulder pain ever since the shoulder surgery that it would still hurt every night when I slept. It's gone. And I had this bump on the bottom of my foot about the size of a marble that I had for years, and it's gone. And I looked at him because I didn't know anything about any of those things. And I just, you never even told me. So it was just funny that these things are happening. And so the people, and I patch him. I've had people say to me, well, my spouse won't patch, he won't put them on, or he won't take them off, or whatever. And I say, do it for them. If you have to, do whatever it takes to patch them, because even if it takes a long time, they are working. And obviously I want him to live a lot more years. And I absolutely believe that these patches are going to make sure that happens. We've now, both are patching with the X49 and since convention, and we had a great time, by the way. And so I'm excited to see what that brings. And I'm just excited to be here. I'm so grateful for this company and this team and David Schmidt. And I expect a long future with Lifewave and a lot of great health. So I appreciate you letting me share the stories.
Wow, thank you so much, Michelle. And so, I mean, that is just a lot and just huge. But the one thing that I want to go and come up with is, wives, ask your husband what they're feeling. It's so cute that both of these particular stories came up with her husband just out of nowhere. Oh yeah, I've been feeling this and everything's doing great. And I love that you, Michelle, you shared that about your husband doing that. And also you, Veronique, good old husbands, don't have one, but great stories. And the knee and the scar repair, that is really awesome. And of course, for your DJD, I mean, in your neck, it means you're going to have decreased range of motion and pain, and that's all improved for you. Wow, so many beautiful stories and testimonies. Thank you so much, Michelle, for coming on. And we will definitely swing back around to you. And I could love to hear more, especially when it comes to the X49. And same thing with you, Veronique. Just love to go and hear more from you too. With that all being said, we're going to go and hand this back over to Laura, and she's going to tell you exactly what it is that we're talking about. What is this X39? What is this patch that we're talking about, and how you can get your hands on it? Laura?
Wow. I say that after every single one. Wow. And the best thing I love about this, thanks you guys for giving such amazing testimonies, but two things that ring out to me is, one, the people who are using the patches consistently can never say, oh, I'm just getting old. Like, that's not even in our vocabulary anymore. And Veronique, for you to come together with this man again and have this life together as a second chance, and everybody be feeling healthy and well, I mean, that's a gift, and it's a gift from the patches. But I have to give credit where credit is due, and that is to Mr. David Schmidt, our CEO, our inventor here, the scientist behind this technology. The man is an incredible visionary, and without him and his vision, none of us would be sitting here today. And so it's just phenomenal. So our guests are probably wondering, how in the world can a patch about the size of a quarter do all the amazing things that I just heard? Well, I want to show you the patch first. Here is our X39, okay? Here's the back of it, and it's very easy to use, which I'm going to show you how to do that. But I want to explain to you a little bit how it works. And the best way for me to facilitate that for you is, we've heard it for years. We told our kids for years, go out in the sun, go play, get some vitamin D. So just as the sun hits our skin and instructs our bodies to make vitamin D for us, this patch, this X39, works in the same manner. Okay, our bodies are infrared light. We are light. If you were to look through night goggles, you would see all the heat coming off our bodies. But one way I love to describe this is that our bodies are like little solar panels. Okay, like a solar panel on top of a roof that provides your home with energy. Our body does the exact same thing. So when you take this patch and you put it on the skin of your body, it creates a light frequency which reflects back. Okay, and what that does when that takes place is it elevates our GHK copper peptides. And I know David is going to be quick to write that in our chat for us, which I absolutely love. But in return, it activates our own personal stem cells, okay, which is brilliant. You know, we're born, when we're infants, we have an abundant amount of them. By the time we're 35, we might have about 50%, 60, maybe 10. After that, we have not much to speak of. But as we noticed tonight, that's when all the pains and the discomforts and the sickness and the diseases start flooding in, that we have the ability with this X39 to handle. So it's so beautiful. So all you're going to do when you get yours, okay, see, y'all's are coming in the mail. I know it is. You take off, and in the back, you're going to see a little white patch, which in return in there has organic amino acids, crystals, salts, water. Okay. Again, when you place it on the skin, that's when that light frequency takes back, that kick reflects back to your body. And all you're going to do is take this and place it on the back of your neck at that C7, okay, the little bony part right here. And you're just going to stick it back there and get on with your day. 12 hours on, 12 hours off. It's brilliant. You want to make sure that you're drinking plenty of water, but I do want you to know that any place will do. A lot of people put it directly on their knee pain, their shoulder pain, their elbow pain, scars. I'm right with that scar testimony. I just recently got hip surgery and my scar is almost non-existent, and it's only been about 5 months. So it's just absolutely amazing how this works. A lot of people within that first day will start feeling things. For a lot of people, it might take 7 days, a couple weeks, a few months, okay? The beautiful thing is you can gauge it. David says 1 month of use for every 10 years of age. So I just turned 59, so I'm closer to 60 than I am 50. So I'm coming up on my 6 months. So I'm really getting towards that total rejuvenation of my cells, depending on what I have going on in my body. Quickly, I want to share with you a study that David did, which he took 15 people, brought them into the lab. Okay, this is one of his recent studies. He drew all their biomarkers and sent all 15 of them on their way for 6 months to use the X39 religiously. At that time, he brought them all back in, drew their bios again, and discovered that 14 out of the 15 people reversed their cellular age by 8 years. Now, I don't know about y'all, but I didn't turn 59 a couple weeks ago. I turned 51. So I am really stoked about that. So as you can see, there's tons of research that you can go to at startx39.com. Really see how this thing is activated, how it works, all the clinical studies. But I do want to share with you how you can get it. It is so very simple. So you have some options. One option is to buy a whole sleeve of X39 for retail, okay, for $150. So there's 30 of these little patches in a sleeve. You also have the ability to buy it as a preferred customer. And when you do that, you're going to take one sleeve for $99.95. There is a membership fee of $19.95. And then you have the ability, and we'll sign up for a 6-month auto ship and get some amazing perks along the way, as long as you continue to make that 6 months of auto ship. However, I will tell you the majority of the people that I bring on board is I want them to be able to get every patch or as many patches as they want be able to save as much money as they want. And so they have access, whether you're somebody who wants to build a business or you're somebody who wants to actually use the product only, you have available to you all of our wholesale packages. And they start out anywhere from a silver pack to a diamond pack. So you can start out at $2.99 and get anywhere from 3 to 5 patches, depending on what you choose, or you can move all the way up to our diamond pack. That's $1,500. And I really advise that for somebody who's really anxious to start building a business. We are a gifting business. We love sharing, and that gives you the ability to do that. But you always have the person that invited you here tonight to sit down with them and get with them maybe on the phone and let them explain the best option for you and your family so you can get the best access to the patches and save the most money that you can possibly save. So with that, time is very valuable. I don't want to keep you guys any longer than I have to. Many of you probably have family that are rolling into town. So Wendy, with that, I'm going to let you close us out, and I want to wish everybody a very, very happy and safe Thanksgiving. Please enjoy your families, and please put a patch on every single person that walks through your door. Wendy?
Yes, absolutely wonderfully said, because what's the best gift you can give somebody? Health. Not just longer life, but healthy longer life, right? Where they're able to sit around and be walking their great grandchild down the aisle. Wouldn't that be just an awesome thing to endure?
Yeah.
So with that being said, I have so much gratitude to every single one of you who are on here. Thank you so much for supporting us in our patching podcast and being the wonderful team that we all are, because we all are family and we're all here to heal the world. Excuse me, we're all here to heal the people while healing the world at the same time. Many blessings to you guys. Night.